All right. I want to go ahead and welcome everyone back to the reboot of the Referee Podcast over here at LEP LLC. No, we have been gone for, a little while now, but not gonna lie, the main reason behind that was mainly due to, I don't know, maybe a Capitol riot attack and half the world blaming it on conservatives. I don't know. I didn't really want to be involved with that. So now that things have kind of calmed down, we're back to fuck COVID, which definitely is the way to be, in my opinion, and every level. I mean, obviously, you got to respect the deadliness of it and be very cautious. To each their own on how you want to take on COVID. There's a lot of information that you can find at the cdc.gov, all the above. I wouldn't say that I love getting my information from there, just because of the fact that it swaps a lot. That's fact. Please don't cancel me. But anyways, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Michael. I am from Illinois, the Chicagoland suburbs to be specific. I'm a R&B singer and entertainment company owner that goes by the name of Lucky Love. And I'm just here gonna go ahead and bring some podcast news to you. And just talk really about, a bunch of topics that as a half black, half white individual living in today's society where it seems like everybody wants to be against everybody or drag race into things that are completely unnecessary. Maybe my opinion is something to just look at, I'm not saying it's better than anyone else's. I mean, as long as we're all alive the next day, I think we did great. That's kind of my idea. So, but anyways, I want to start today off with talking about the number one issue I think that's coming to schools and issues that are having with parents. And it's something I'm not sure how to feel about, because I'm not sure how it's being applied or taught. This is critical race theory, or CRT, that everybody is talking about now, and I just, I don't know how to feel about it, because, yes, I do think that, from just growing up and going to a suburban elementary school outside of Chicago, I didn't know much about anything. I mean, and I'm black, so I think that, I don't know, I felt like somebody would want to tell me about where I came from, but yeah, no, I had no idea until I went to college, at age 19. I went to Harper College and started meeting people, and Harper College is a great college. They actually allowed for a black student union to occur, and that was something that actually kicked off my career stuff. I mean, it put me in front of a lot of people that all were driven. So, I mean, I want to shout out to William Rainey, Harper College over in Palatine, Illinois, for allowing me to just participate in your school. I'll probably be coming back for some classes, just because you never want to stop learning in life. But yeah, they were the ones who definitely helped introduce the adult world to me. So I think that touching on critical race theory right now is a good idea to kind of share my opinions of it. So critical race theory, let me go ahead and just read it. Critical race theory is a body of a legal scholarship and academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists in the United States that seeks to critically examine U.S. law as it intersects with race issues and to challenge mainstream American liberal approaches to racial justice. Now, that sounds great, and if that's all it was, then I think it would be probably good, They say CRT examines social, cultural, and legal issues primarily as they relate to race and racism in the United States. Why wouldn't it relate to other countries? Because I think if you're going to have something called critical race theory, you should probably not only have it correlated to one culture that isn't even a culture anymore. I mean, you can't even say the American culture, because you have American Indians, you have all these different, immigrants that have come in, and even though their children are American, they do not act it, like And when I say American, I mean they don't act like what an American typical person you would think. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've talked to a couple immigrants, and they say that Americans, they're very greedy. They're very like insensitive. They're very selfish and self-absorbed. And I don't blame Americans 100% for being that way. I mean, some people, yeah, because if you're given information and you refuse to change, that's a whole nother topic. But no, I mean, you got all these Americans that are now so immigrantly, intertwined that we don't have our own culture. So CRT, what are they doing by only focusing on the United States? Because last time I checked, I mean, Canada's been right next to the US pretty much the whole time. They've had the same issues the entire time. So why wouldn't CRT correlate to Canadian racism or Mexican racism? Why wouldn't it correlate to that? It's one of those things where making something up is not a good idea either. And like only trying to push an agenda that one group of people kind of believes in doesn't make sense either. Because it doesn't mean that it's going to be factually correct. It could be slightly, it could be, I don't know. I'm not like I said, I'm not totally against critical race theory. Like, for instance, I think it should really touch on the fact that you have an entire race of people, halfricans or halfrexicans, or anybody who's a half-breed between white and something else. We don't even know what to think about ourselves because you forced us to, associate with people of a race that we don't even correlate with. Yeah, no, it's so confusing, And so that one thing as an American is probably the hardest thing to deal with CRT being pushed in schools. I mean, currently I have a daughter who I call my little Blasianite. She's black, white, and Asian, all together in one little amazing thing. I'll say Korean to be specific. Because go Korea, South Korea. I mean, I feel bad for North Korea. We'll talk. I mean, shit. But anyways, I got a Blasianite daughter. And so growing up, she's going to go to school, right? And she comes from a dad who grew up in an adopted family where we had 4 races and multitudes of foster kids coming through. So I'm confused as to where, I can't even be racist because I don't know how to be. Yeah, I could be rude. I can play a racist, person, but it's hard to be racist when I know I don't believe it. It's one of those things where, hey, show your value in what you bring to the day. Or, did you bring the blunts to a party? Did you, drive so-and-so's mom so that way she can get her surgery that day? Did you donate at church? Those things make you feel, like better people. It doesn't mean you are, just, you want to, life is slightly an illusion, where no matter what, the perspective is your own. So, I mean, everybody can tell you something, but it doesn't mean you have that perspective, yada, yada. This is getting too deep. We'll bring this back with our, we have some, psychology podcasts that are going to be going nuts in the future, mainly just because I feel like there's a lot of friends that I know that they could probably benefit quite substantially just from getting another perspective about a situation they're going through. And it's not always mine. I can't always help everybody, and I make sure to be very honest and all that stuff when I'm talking to people in a serious capacity. But yeah. So I mean, CRT growing up, you got my kids going to school. I don't want her to learn that. I mean, I want her to learn that, Black people went through crazy struggles, and now we're here. And are we at the place we need to be? No. But here's the thing: is I say the place we need to be. I'm not gonna lie. Very rarely do Black people ever really accept me. They always call me, "Oh, you're light skinned." So, I'm not allowed in a lot of circumstances, which is okay. I mean, I don't really give a fuck whether you accept me or not. It's one of those things where it's like, now I know how you're going to view me no matter what. That's fact. So, growing up, I don't want her to think she has to be part of that group that didn't even accept her own father. And I'm not saying they never will. I'm just saying in my experience, which is very little. It's humiliatingly little, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But that's why I think, starting this referee podcast, coming in with a halfrican perspective is just, it's different, I say halfrican because I don't want to say Africa. I'm not from Africa. So, might as well change up the word, but keep it similar because, whatever. That's so stupid. I'm just talking on my butt right now. Ooh. But okay, so CRT's up there. If you have any comments about it, you want to get deeper into the conversation. If you think you can explain it to me better, go ahead, reach out. You can hit me up on my Facebook at Lucky Love. You can go to the Referee Podcast YouTube channel and comment below. This will be posted there as just, an audio clip with obviously the logo. And we'll be going to do live streams and live podcasts very, very, very soon. None of this will be edited. So, not even before I was doing shit where I took out the space in between the drone just so that way it would be a quicker conversation. But even then, we're not even going to do that. We're just going to focus on a non-edited, nothing, straightforward podcast that we could really, mold and shape to the listeners and what I want to go. So let's go ahead and just switch to the one other topic I wanted to touch on for today, which is just our President of the United States. No, I'm not going to lie. I watch a lot of conservative talk podcasts, and I like it's funny to me that they refer to him as former Vice President Joe Biden, which is fun. It's true. They're not lying, so they can't get canceled for it. But yeah, he's the president. This is President Joe Biden, and it's President, oh my God, who are we kidding? Why'd we do this? In my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and just play some gaffes, pretty much. This one's going to be a more entertaining talk. And I'm pretty much just going to make fun of him because, it doesn't make any sense to me how he's our president with the cognitive decline he's experiencing quite rapidly. So, I don't know. Here, let's listen to some of these.
My physical as well as my mental fitness.
My mental
I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too.
I'm looking forward to this, man. You walk behind me in a debate. Come here, man.
What?
Why should people want to make a change, though?
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Why should they?
Yeah, but why?
It's for them to decide.
Yeah. I know,
but make your case.
I'm not going to.
I'm not.
We can't rebuild our economy and meet this climate crisis, exacerbating the need for environmental justice. Sorry, as a bug. Speaking of the environment. We need to work again with Canada and Mexico as neighbors, not as adversaries.
Yeah.
As adversaries.
Yeah, well,
Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
There's things that are worth dealing with China.
It's worse than I thought.
It makes it far more durable, reliable, and powerful. And partnerships built on coercion.
Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care of running a department store thing.
What? A quartermaster to department? They're not the
same.
same.
The ladies' department or whatever. You know what I mean?
And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do, would follow through, the exact opposite. 1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift.
What?
What happened?
The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact believes in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO the right way. That in fact that's when things began to change. I looked at it anyway. That's what I think My plan,
What?
I know what my plan does.
I hope.
No, but I mean, it's not about, I know you're supporting by saying booing, but look, here's the deal.
And I had a nurse nurses at Walter Reed Hospital who would bend down and whisper in my ear. Wow. And go home and get me pillows. They would make sure they'd actually, probably nothing ever taught in, you can't do it in the
Just
COVID
so you know,
time,
this is the audio from Joe Biden's most
nostrils to
awkward
make me
gaffes of all time,
move,
part
to
3
get me
on
moving.
YouTube. You can
make
find it through
somebody
the
else sick.
on-demand news. 1.13 million subscribers on
What
YouTube.
with this guy?
Well, the only thing we can do about it is be prepared. We have a whole group of lawyers who are going out to every voter registration physician in the states, the secretaries of state, making sure that they, in fact, have a game plan as to how they're going to allow the voting to take place. But you know, in the 2020 census, which is now 2 censuses ago.
I'm just have to stop that right there because I don't know if I could take this any longer. I had some crazy stuff. So, I mean, you got Joe Biden, right? President Joe Biden. Former President Joe Biden. I mean, I don't care who. I mean, you got him, all right? What has he done? Just, besides look dumber and dumber with every appearance on TV. Like, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to be like, you know what? I may have been wrong. Because, I mean, I couldn't vote. I was a felon. I didn't feel like talking to a congressman or anything like that, so that's not happening. But I was very vocal to try to convince people because I felt like, well, if I convince one person, at least then I get my vote. So in that case, I was kind of going hard. And not because I like Trump as a person. That dude, as a person, is kind of a fucking dick. Like, not even kind of. You're a fucking dick, Trump. But it's okay because, you know, when you have a team, right? Let's give it an analogy, just like Joe Biden, but hopefully I don't sit here and gaff for the next 20 minutes. You know, you got a team, and you're at the freaking finals. Do you want the coach that's going to be, I just want you to do your best. If you do your best, it doesn't matter what the score is. Because you did your best. Or would you want that coach that's kind of a dick? And when you like showed up to practice late, he was like, hey, yo, go run laps. And hey, yo, go do this and that. And next thing you know, you're fucking weirdly, superiorly, physically fit. And you fucking are doing shit that's kind of uncontrollable. And you're like, thanks, coach. You know, I betcha. Thank you. You know, like, I'd rather have the dick as my coach. And in this case, I think that's all that the president really is the coach for the United States. I mean, prove to me how it's not. I mean, the United States is the team. All right, we got to beat the other ally. We got to beat the Axis. No, that's old school. We got to beat the evil people. You know, and you got to, I don't know. I just feel like you don't want a pushover in that position. Obama, I don't feel like was a pushover, but I also don't feel like he was a dick. He was that coach that like, why am I not winning? Well, there's something you're not doing right. But I do appreciate you becoming president because you got a lot more people going out there and trying to be more ambitious with their lives. So shout out to Obama. I'll do that before the end of this real quick. It's about all I can shout out. But other than that, I mean, hey, you're at least you're not a dick. You seem like a guy I'd smoke a joint with. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. We'll have more shows coming in a few days. I mean, it's going to be every couple of days we'll put up a podcast until we finally figure out a day that's ideal for everybody, or maybe, you know, every day. Who knows? But this topic of conversation at the Referee Podcast is copyrighted. And I hope you guys like it. If you have any comments, feel free to interact below, side, wherever the hell the comment box is, because you never know when this will be posted. And in the meantime, go ahead and enjoy your lives. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay creative. Lucky out. This has been the Referee Podcast.